This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Enti Agya Koo mesraw hwe ye campaign ma Kennedy wo mo side ho mo 18 mu ho no ma na ye enjoy ye researching yesraw de enkoye no so ye na ye beka Agya Koo NPP for didi jaw me mane me yete sa party ni ho akono se party ni ho nya akono sa enye onwanwa so for 8 months scandal ba akokra mai
political stage near cheap intino and a lot of people have taken over the stage wearing expensive clothes but very cheap in mind at the same folks who are saying no I've ordinam and these people should not be given the opportunity to come close anywhere to governance.
Ya mama kwabe na Yaa Titi ese adenti na Agya Koo ahoka se Ghana for Africa na nado aban na yehun se na no mesi kona na ese Ghana for Africa na nado aban a omo susen kebe kra kan na nado nsamra won na ese kwesa na ese NPP for fence Ghana for qualify for NPP na orono wo Kennedy so ye Kennedy boy what I say Yaa Titi say Agya Koo ye kum yewura ama Kofi Boa edwuma wo bo last minister edwuma wo bo odo ko ka say we should call for a state of emergency no your last minister so ono no nkole o mama mpanye nkole sa na bi asete but Yaa Titi say edwuma wo bo nya seketwa enti Agya Koo ye din munya asem ka ye din CJ former CJ Chief Justice to konu asem na meke ma mi nso ene ne atwetan ye ma bi nso sometimes mon tias ma CJ sao was still na want tias let no chirokwa ni nyina nsi yi wadi pepe bi kwotran what I say you say odwuma nso no kwotran chiboko ye nyina ne ngana ne omotomo ma won so ma by force ma me na sana sha gidigidi Ivan che as hantation so o ma Ivan you say nya fine
bra panyi ya menye sa o say ye pe wa sempa sani awutwa sidi no e na asem na wo katwa ato no na nka me mpese obeka sema ye nya ya adwen se wuyi sini wuye comic ntie bi adwene ni utirim na adwene da utirim so pa da bi enka bi da me ade ba ko a me mpe wo wiase eye inferiority complex obi ebe feel say oye inferior no don't do that men ka bi da Henry wo hoi ju wutum emo obi asamo akabu abamo enti na da bia ya na obi ka kya me say ya nti ye di watam anya wo ya na me say de odi matam no hwe na ansa na wa behwe me wo hwe nipa ni wie na hwe na te bia na owo mu na odi di matam na wasa wa obi sa ho say e wasa me sai madaje wo nipa ne ho ana se ni se me sai madaje wo ne ho me sai madaje wo ne ma hunu ho enti me udi matam o ya me dan yo me ha me ho wo ho because uni bibi me chi me hudi papa me jimi hudi ankasa na me denya me asoso se seni obo me no me ne je wo enti me na mada me ti da me kon ho enya wo de wo ka no enti bra panyi asam na wo ka twa to no de me ne wa nya adwen kra so obeka se wo twa sini ana se bibi nti ya adwen ba ye se bi adwen no utirim adwen no utirim se nyame ebo nipa da sani bia de ne ba wiase no wo de bibi wei atu ni tirim obi ani wa onim nyansa common sense ena to da bia ya na laki wo nipa bi no ho ena obi so ho onim nyansa pa ya bro obi wa ho a onim sa ade a me yei enye ebe ha me yonko but obeye eno no e ya bro e different from say obi nim nyansa na say adwena ni tima there two clear different things nipa no onim nyansa but oni nyansa na ekura no no odidi nipa bone enti Agya Koo meka bibiem say ena ye be ya adwen say wutwa sini nti no e bia uni adwen say no don't say that eno de me ne wa anya adwen de amansa ne wa anya adwen wo ho biem a me ne obekasa no pay se me bra panyi ena me fa ya wo because wo no me fere opa na me sabu because me hwe wo sini da bia enti me kasa wo party eniti bia sama wo kana wo party na wo mu no me ne wo nya adwen say wo party baby a wanyina dri sabe wonya se kura wo ne kire wo say wo dom NPP ane beboa wo sanya obi so ntimi force me say menye NPP anase menye CPP no sa papa na me ntimi force wo say aden na wo ye NPP ni it doesn't even make sense but me pese se wo ya critical analysis wa wo mo 8 years na mo be di ye no abe compare 8 months ya president Mahama ti akonwa so bra panyi Agya Koo mesra wa bra Akufo Addo mesra wo from 8 years no dia wan kasa fa 8 years no fa to 8 months ne ho compare and contrast anope me mo bia ni di watem me ankasa so kra me fa ya be questions na me bisa wo so wa wo twa wani na wo hwe na na dan ko Akufo Addo ene Dr. Baumia Kenoforiata Osafo mafo ene omo ka wo nyina gabi a kire da akomo ne asante bedi atuo ma mamu amom nyina including bra Akufo Addo mu bebu wo 8 years yi wo de wankasa compare for to 8 months yi ho Ghana ni be na aka kire wo say NPP babak eya na wo ka kire wo ho because wo ya NPP ni enfaso na NPP wa ban mu na wunya no e bia wadwen ya wo say emmabiem eti e wo say at all cost e wo say NPP babak ba na me ka bibi ncho Ghana ye ya NPP sisi ya wo debi for the next 42 years ye ya because unim ya shisha minor dru ba bia within a twinkle of an eye mobile ya hurim e bia wo de na ka adwen pa wo tirim now so amwa wo mudi kan wa amammo no ma no mo na hyehyɛ niam no omo mbadwiri gui enti internal politics now we ya campaign ma Kennedy no pacho focus on internal politics no na ma Kennedy ewi ne mo flag bearer no na mo ma fa ma Ghana for so wo de ya ade no wo NPP for mo circle na mu twa circle na wa agiram na woni delegates in kasa te se de na wo ye ya we no ni delegates na kasa wo ba o extending no o ba ne branches no na bia be come no e na bia ka Ghana because say Ghana fuosu hey Agya Koo jai ja o say na ka de premier pa mesre because me pasa me ye careful or ye bra be panyi me pedasem e na me bu no pa ba dia wo ye dia asa wo ya greedy menye sa debi menye sa na wo aban ben na waba power yate ne ba so wankasa wo sha se wo Ghana ha se wo nyini a wo twase ni nyina no aban ben na ba yakase aban we ba ye de yate ade so age se John Mahama ba mu meti bi da hwe ba bia petrol wi kwaduru ye ede petrol kra ye se ye de wan se dia to so cost air solving energy sector crisis a wankasa waban eja akato ho no so kra petrol enuru 15 cedi 17 20 na mo de diesel kodru ye no enti men kasa ene kra ye se petrol ne boa ye den kra yesu no 12 cedi 57 pesos me ba bia me to me de sa o ye ho nam tom me fuo 1257 ye de goal kra sa me nya sure say do 13 cedis enuri ha Agya Koo ma nya sa wo yesa wo be ma sa ya dwa yesa wo ye pesami nkumnya na ufua keta hyehyɛ ne dwirim a NPP mpanyifo ne binom meka no binom because enye omo nyina na bo aban kro no wo mo ba aban kro no na omo de air pop up no sa Agya Koo wo yesa na yete sa wo fua wo mo kro no na omo bo ye no so and I may call it slow by sure because the one me feel no me person ma no betia okra well politics now wo ye no wo ye ma ne ye akono dodo me say no dia me person me catch on say Ghana for yensu hute pacho yensu ye why ne ye wo mu ye ni je ho papa wa kasa wo kwadwam abisa anwa ba bia mo de kwaduru ye bisa emo ba bia mo de abo kwaduru ye aburo bisa ba bia mo de aburo kwaduru ye no abanyo obetira konwa so otimi kwabo aburo bosia e we ko wasini be fidi nkra we ya mamu Agya Koo pa bra adope man say agro no mesrawo ye internal politics na wo ye ni ye campaign ma Kennedy because ma wo say wo ye Kennedy fan wa wo ni delegates ne nkasa say na wo ne wo mo kasa man twe Ghana nwuram na wan kasa enye onwanwa so for 8 months scandal ba akokra mai enye onwanwa e wo say ye onwanwa e wo say wo say niam asesa Yet yes oh ya kan sense wom pokwase kwan. Wonim say sika ya kwaje say ye de ye kwan no. Sika ni nyina ya je o. Ba contractor no ne nsa nka ni nyina nti da kwan na aka ho a anwe ne se no bisa ho say balance no we. Agya Koo wa bisa ho. Ekwa wi akire President Mahama ba ye enna wakopa sika foforo. Eti anu kra bo say ye investigations. Ni abisa se sika na omokwaje ya for pokwase ensawam road no sika no ewo he na afei na aban foforo ba wasa kopa sika foforo e dia koma contractor enu nko apo should tell you say mon crofo no on be say kuro no energy sector enya the intervention of President Mahama kaida sumu na wasa dia target say on dey dum so bai. Meanwhile, Esra no peto was say ye dey solve energy crisis no. Mo ba ya Agya Koo, mo nkrofo ne ba ya no mo tam Esra no kosi awowa. E no mo gi sika. Hwem sika no ma di. Ya bisa wo se Esra bosia no mo kɔbɔ ne sika no mo de ye den. Omo de sika ne ye den because sanka Esra ni papa mu a wasanka ba na ye gya etua. Because at least in Shishaya, now I think around 2017, 2018 thereabout. Now was saying Esra ye jetuya. Now was say etuya energy sector. E ka wo ho nyina. Akufo Addo ne ba umiare ka no for eta ba ye no. Do omutimi ye as best economists. E ma ye ne say omo de Esra no kosi awowa. Eje bosia no mbedi. Wa mo no omutimi kwobo bosia Agya Koo na oni kroma. Obi otimi kwobo bosia. Nana ni agesa makobosia bo ya mama ntimi ba ya kenke party no wato ne ho pono wada tamfo anim ade wache tele na che say wo mo hye mo se adanya kana forata ka kire ya Ghana fo say wakọ rezi bond wanya bond na abosia o euro bond o ze wan ya bosia wakọ ba bia ya bobosia wo wiase adwama so am ya bo de bosia o Ghana for bosia kana for taja bosia ne enwani jodi beto party di mu kenke tele ade ho red fish e ka ho eno kra sa kenke party no mo ye eno kra wose ekobu hu nkonta ne ya se sika be na se bosia no mkobo e no mo de wi o madum o no mo de shi o mo say na nipa bai da sabe misa wala gina hei no akọ bank so akọ bosia o kwaje bosia ni bedru ya o se man fo nyina mo wa hi o ene makọ bank am ya ma me bosia mo bra me ento party me to me ho pono wo matamfo anim na me sa wala to ne ho pono ene enam ise tie ni onfere osadi twa photo kana ofere ta onfere osadi the kenke party plate no esadi twa photo ene na internet so Google you get it bra Akufo Addo me nyesa me fere pa hwe me buo senya wo pa na wo ka asem na nka ye obi fofora ho ka na be different level ene ka be different level o ba me pe wasem too much ena me bu ba me pe so oti ase se Ghana mfo yensu hwe yensu ye wan kasa kura dia dance say dollar kura mo say ena dollar no wow NPP for celebrate because dollar as akosempo se 12 cedi 90 pesos say na say omoto no omo be say kuro no mo ye den amu pai boy nyina hanu no man boyefo sei wuti krobo ya se konfo bone se kromu a so atimbi enti wato ne pai boy nyina ne se nka dollar no enkodu 17 te se de ba umia de kodu 17 no ne pai boy nyina no watim de ya jandam ba Nyankopon so de o Boada ohwe yan Ghana France na wahwe mu NPP fo nti amofa sa de ntumutirim bra Agya Koo enka bibiem anopei enka bibiem mesrawo sanya wo ya wo politics ne kɔ ne ye ne kama saa se dia wo ye kɔ no ba wo ye so de Ghana fo ye be fra wo nkomo da wo bedin dia na se what ra wo nkra batan ni mu so obi ameka bi mkyere wo ba wo ye do within NPP na eno ya mo circle man kasa Ghana fo su na was NPP ba he ma me ka bi mkyere se Kennedy ne beba of which I know so mo fa dem ba umia na no mo de ne beba the incompetent Baumia, and no me come say my no. Incompetent Baumia. But no Sabina Baumia to me catch the President Mahama so you incompetent and no nyatem die. But Yaa Titi catch the Baumia so you incompetent I so we didn't attempt. The incompetent Baumia on one among the Baba into 2028. Forget it. Mube lusu. 2032. Mube lusu. Mube lusu sa. I just a new face of NPP and I must say once somebody amo ya power didn't change you. And no runners in a catcher yen. Runners say You see these people, they don't change their character, they change their names. Eti ube wo say ya ube wo NPP no omahwe na hwe ya omesese di ni sisi ya na omagu NPP no na ya gye ya say omakoye reform omoboa da nso na gutuo no na eye lebo ne keke na omasesa no na omde abre ye pentima mento enti se si ya ne de won say dia president Mahama e hyehyɛ oman no ya ma mo madwiri mu because 8 years boni a wo mo di wo krom ha no Agya Koo wo nka ho boni no e bia wa ni bi si ye ka boni a wo nkrofo ni di ya ebeji wo nsam me ye sure say wo kra no wo TV so na wo ti bia wo yam do brim na wan kasa imagine say incompetent ba wo mia aka kire yan Ghana for so mo de $12 million akoye Palugu dam ye call ye no Palugu dam no pika se kra ye mfantu nwura e da ho asase pese $12 million no hwiu me ye sure say Agya Koo say your personal company and ka by now e bia nka ba omi odam ka ba na ba kire ba bia $12 million ne fae ya tena krom ha ama Agya Koo won kurofo no won scholarship na o say krom ma bi na ka de koye wudi aka wo fa nkosia de akra fa kwahwe se ne esi ya movie production ni ade unso ama ba scholarship no so mo wi ayen wow amu wi scholarship Agya Koo say wudi ma me ka kire bia na wonte we are scholarship to the son say Mr. Wale scholarship no or no scholarship secretariat jala was a man yere ne ba hey I just say under NPP pen as mo beti bi na obi ka brilliant but need difo no mo te ho scholarship no so can na ya no na agenda ne say brilliant but needy dia wonima dia na so ne fie nye te say dia me fie nye yenom saa na ke wo so mo ma ye scholarship no na wo hwe obi a wanya position to say gift your worry no sa just scholarship na ni kunu so wajibi mesrabo me ka so anya Ghana ni o ba yes brilliant but needy menya sure say gift your worry o ye needy onya needy Ghana ni na didi yie position no onya na Ghana for ye tua ne ka Oriana national service wa Agya Koo ana no so tie national service wo no akwada yesi ya wodo nne yesi wanyiri woni maame ya mawie university ansa na ne maame wo no ti ni din da national service for pay ro so ne yatua ne kama na allowance Harry ekwam de wo na ekwam de wo okay eti sa woni mu a national service wo no ade o mo yesi obi a akọ pension 70 something years omunyo omudi usha national service mo ana Agya Koo wante scandal na ekoso under na Akufo Addo ni incompetent ba wo bia no ebia akase bia ni nyina so achewa owra kra ba wanhwa party no begyae bone de omadi bia hyamo ebia wo de wan hye da hu so papa wan because edu ba bi kra mete se na creative art for no mu su se adidija enimu na enam adidija enimu na enam hwe Agya Koo NPP for didija o me mani me yet se party ni ho akono se party ni ho nya akono enti enso da ya da se Ghana fo su frɛ NPP ye Awurade Yakopo he monoju mu sisamudi di mu ya rebranding eno kra be take 42 years no kura mo branding mu ho ye na mo fa credible people any party nanim but you see the current leadership of this party any current aspirants no mo nyina call for flag bearer no why no you credible because winim na Dr. Duchum I hold it in high esteem but oba kanta ba wumia na yama ne 10 cents na say Duchum so kra ti was na ne honyo ama say education sector was say chese boni a wadi anya boni keto anyam na meka MPP for na de ne 10 cents aba but 10 cents no kra wa himpo mami ka bi natie enti say Agya Koo wonte ya meka chwe bia na sika no mudi jawo mia metimu so mudi jawo 10 cents of a year can say Aduchum eya dia ma ne sisi ya pepepe ama chese ono so wage ne de enti say wonimu a meka kire o say mo party na da ho no enie ma ekoso wo mi say wonimu ahu eka wan kasa wape ba bia afa because mo nkrofo ne kwan yo mo de Ghana fo afa so no 10 cents of Aduchum enie number 1 yes inflated the free SHS enrollment figures from 3.5 million to 5.7 million for procurement bridges. Hey, for procurement benefit, that's a pacho. Mame for me calculator no pawi. Sa sin we kura ne se mani amoso ba kono na mekohu ye obesa wala fa calculator me pacho monti 3.5 every 5.7 muna mehwe me se me ma se nye ti me ma si chase da me sheda nyada no me hu so ba class ane madwa wow 3.5 minus 5.7 82.2 million. Hey, first sin of Dr. Duchum Agya Koo no we cry mo intern afo no we NPP for ankasa na de ba nya de enyo bia na de ba yo o say Dr. Duchum inflating free SHS figures from 3.5 to 5.7. What can I say aban ne sisa ya President Mahama take it over system we eba up and I so yakwaya auditing e kire ne hu say 5.7 million no mo de year campaign 2024 no say no mo boa. Yes, I no say ya bone number 1 for Dr. Duchum. Bone number 2 nie paid 57 million Ghana cedis to busy internet despite no work being done. La. Hey! Enyam na me ko ade we MP Baumia ko for na generate ye na me ka kire wo. So be answer Baumia. Ena na ko for na generate say wo bone du hye woto. Oh, Baba, because I lead the patch of Abanefa. What do you mean? Any I did the body about the body number 2, no. Yes, Dr. Duchum. Yamna make a uncroft for that neck. Aye, women can uncroft for 10 cents, Medase. Bonnie, what even also? Bonnie number 3. Masterminded the removal of Professor Opoku Amankwa to extend his control. Academic micromanagement of GES. Who can say Opoku Amankwa professor? Ne won semba kroma bubruja. Afa ya say a teacher first one no mo peno. Educhum se me peno. Ya say say bone na matre no no. Bone number 4. Or say they appropriated all government contracts under his ministry to himself. Hey, Dr. Duchum no kre. What you also be yanu? Hey. Mo kasama Dr. Duchum no mutum rika be yi sa asem we ya no so no amu so be ya no amoma ni be ya no because we dey serious allegation me ni evidence NPP for no mo generate ade na na e ka mo na to office wo amo say government contract under the ministry nyina ojema wo no ane ho ti am so no akasa ti company oya no award contract na ma ne ho nyame na me ka o Ghana for we eye NPP for na generate 10 cents of Dr. Duchum na ka Dr. Duchum yo hutini ana boni anu omoka 1 cents of Brian 1 cents of Baumia 10 cents of Kennedy na ayi Duchum no onya bi pacho ye ma ne bi. Number 5, engage in serial womanizing with of Pacho body number 5 no mean to me nka. We so since ni bi. O da bi ma mo nyesa. We na ma mo nyesa Harry kra o peges. There no. We kra ba wo. Me wo yank ma mo so. Da bi bone number 5 on there. Na NPP for mo campaign nya kra wo. Mo politics ye time papa. Mo de we so kwa campaign tia no. Ah. Ma mo nyesa. Number 6, sideline and undermine all pro-Napo appointees in his ministry. Attempted to award his girlfriend. Hey. Banini bo ha bedru akwa na mabobrim. Somebody no be here mo. Attempted to award his girlfriend a contract worth $250,000 monthly after the NPP had lost the general elections. Now where Bonnie? Oh, muso ya mama nyasa. Oh. What am I call Bonnie number 8? Supplied Ghanaian students with expired rice. And the tea. I know the tea. Ghana higher tea, say free SHS in Grace, Adriania de come on Munyana expiring data should Hakano. I know the Ghana for your tea. Diverted $2.5 million meant for Gallop projects. Hey. Number 10, set up a cabal to sell placements and teaching slots. Hey. Asamo. Asamo. In fact, Dr. Duchumbane no ase ebi wo anu ohye. Ha Agya Koo etuwa nasa mo party no omo di anim nyina obi a obone. Adeboyafo no bokwa akopre party flag bearer o. Nyam na meka mo krofo da na generate bode ne de ba because bone number 5 no de ma mo nyesa. Ah se wa brodi kwa se de basi twam. Na no ye bone. Obi aye bi. MMA dudu na aye bi. Dr. Duchubo ye bi enya breaking news. Eno enya bone. Dia ya bone wo bi dia ye sika akwadim no. Eno na ye bone a me no me wa interest wom. Muna monka onyam na meka. Misa wala ye na generate sa de we. Enye ya. We ba obi akwafo da na generate ba e. Obi cross ye Duchubo the mastermind ye na pop the free education de no kwato energy. Eno so ye se ya ne bone ni bia. Enti bra Agya Koo woni bibi. Sa Ghana for beka so ma fe NPP dabi. Say ya femu say mo ya mamboyefo na nyame ahunyamo agye ya femu nsam. Si ya ba femu say ei nkasabre scandal a sie nya asem ketwa. Nkasabre kura na associate scandal na mu. Ya kan GVD na mu. Name the scandals. PDS na mu. Ya kan say ba ko ya na ya reta fipa ya contaminated food na e course wo boss no wonim say scandal kase pa bisa ho say sa food na asem no e kosi sen kafre ya ti committee ya ti ne we pitirisam obi adi ya ti mi award yi contract ama moving pina company ya so wono kwa ne krata no na oni ho kwan say wo yes adwuma no sa abre na ye de sa contaminated food ne ma no abesi atwam ni nyina Agya Koo wanya bi enti menka bi da se Ghana fo afia NPP da hye ena kra ya se niam bo akosoro kra no ye tete niam so ebi si da na mo afa ma me school u kakra one standard na President Mahama the presidency akodru no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama me hu say presidency ni enye kaka motobi wa me hu say wo di president wo kromu a would the president no ma wo manfo na wo mfa wo power no intimidate wo nkrofo. That's a clear difference between President Mahama and the NPP. Unim nano ya no akoye big push shortcut no ma me na no oba cross camera na security for ne pam no wonya council of state ono no man position o se munya no man machine twam nipa no wo se atwam a block no okwan on fa he na enko na president ya ono kwa adwabo asekro de ninsa bankum na waka kira nananom say mu sori na mu hu sa meba compare nanado na fane toto President Mahama who say difference it say clear difference she say presidency na ya kono ne enim say presidency attractive sa motam no na ya monster bi esi baabi o ka ho asem age se wa watoto wani ariti se me die bi ene wo ka onim se wo ka me adi watem wo yo bi a wo bu hu kakra bi se wo de wo pese obi abedidi watem a de na ekoso no wo be mia wa no enti Agya Koo mesrew hwe ye campaign no ma Kennedy wo mo side ho mo 18 mu ho no ma wo tentacles no may stand outside the circle. Be within the circle. Now you enjoy your researching. Yes, now the enquiry no so yan yabeka. Yarana enquiry yabeka. Yan yabeka President Mahama say enquiry. Now when says see the woman dear allow us to enjoy our researching. Honorable Ama Kofibua. Lands and Natural Resources Minister. Me patro see a difference e wo ye buma ya ho e ya niam ketekete bi da ba wo difference. Now see the difference Honorable Ama Kofibua de aba Lands Ministry e be ma Ghana for ye nya so mfa so because na me catch you say e ye dan na company bi betimi akwa je oman bi asase se bi to gold na e kwan kura da kuram ho nya kwan a ye fa so ye yie school dan ya no say social intervention be anyone wa yama kuro no see a difference Honorable Aba Kofibua e de aba and the go to tuom or say what a one or condors up as all your mania. Say, young Casa would be Minerals Commission. Every anim deputy CEO, Mindy Abama, Elambele Keke. Aye, no one to call who can say, Bramaba, me and this in person, me mining. And I was out of cinema, maybe some young mining, there be say, Yanessa, see, researching now, Bamuno. Say, me crowman, our person walk who go the episode to our own and another more of a crocodile commands. Wono amukwadi nkoma na wachira wa mu dia wo betu gold na wo be yediama community no tie amamuanie wona abechira community ne sada na me ba mu kwan na asai no meye mu pe school dai mesiama mo mu pe hospital na na se aye besiaba mo ana sada na nkasa bechira say se wo betu gold wa masase so dia ye pe ABCD wo jitu mu se wo be ye na ne na no mu kwa agreement ya. And son, I want to come by Minerals Commission. That's a rate setting. Honorable Akufo Addo, enti chese would the galam say 8 years e ko ba 2 to 8 months ho. Ene na wan kasa wonye serious. Enti sese nchiremu aba ne say baabi a woti bia wo pesa wo ye mine no. Woni nananu be kwa akoya agreement yansa. Na wachira wo ma na se nananu be mu oti ase se weni ye pe e kwan de kra de Honorable Akufo Addo say ye must. Kromo kwan na tutu apansam no wo be ye you fix it. Wo yes agreement in yansa no ba be ye process e wo Minerals Commission. Na sa commitment na wa ye no eno so na minister be hwe no wa approve license amount say obekwa akoye mine na na se wo nkonkoye. Yetena krom ha Emma akonta mining any chroma for the kwabani forest no kwahyebu no community for na ho no omonim enkrofo timber company bi kwa na ho ono omokwa kuntokwa tututuo galamseo tututuo okwa no akwa huna na bia okroma because original chairman na the company na buy na power e do ko bowura mu enyem na meka o Minerals Commission at time no now woman na NPP na power no Minerals Commission e de krata ababontin say akonta mine ade na oye wo forest ni mu ho no oni krata wo so ye enyem na me twiro sa document no Minerals Commission e twiro it is na wo said the changes no eba e wo se wo hu samamuo no atiesi ekwan bi so e wo se ye nyina ye boa se ekwan kro no ye bema atene ne nyina ye ho ato ye hwe Ghana ye yi a enye ye ma Yaa Titi nkwa na enye ye ma President Mahama ye ma ye nyina na se ye omotifo wo so ne ye nyina ye bose wo kofo station ye misa so party card wo he ansa ne atonfo wo na ma ye misa ye misa wo say ebia wo no NPP time no wunya bibi anase wanya bibi ebia wunya bibi dia ne wo ne beto am different price wanya bibi dia ne oni Ghana for beto ne pe dabi ne nyina to ne pe ene na ma ye rase din kati akoka say NPP for ebo bena na wono ye o mampanyi a enka wo betwen ya mo ma ye demonstration se patro bo aye den na wasa dia ko 17 20 na omo de koduru ye na omo ho ato mo listening government you see changes are eba no eyamenu mienu se Ghana for se ebeboa ma say changes no agina and we are going to support President Mahama to succeed we yan this nimpo na ye wo so obeya Canton Cross e wo kwa mu ho a ye be block you enti o so ti ase His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa me ye hu presidency mu se akono pa presidency enye monster wo ye president a wo nye kakai. That is President John Dramani Mahama. Level no the presidency na kono. Wa ma hu say wo di o manfo so a wo manfo ni nti na wo ho. Me hu say president bi eye down to earth. To say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and a personality. Sana ni pursuit here, you can't change him. Minimum nipa bebre a wo mutimi edidi President Mahama atem. But we show more bedroom or no mokasa. Na na do danko Akufo Addo edru mebi onye ohun President Mahama kra obedwom onya ekwanko nchia no. The last time bia na yesa peace park odru President Mahama ho asia force no se won chia no. Ode ne sa ye se ya no twa mu koi. But President Mahama the last video ya oni Dr. Baumia emso mu kohia wo yenua ba ko ayi ase o sese I think honorable Mutalana no mo ye na do o sese oni Baumia ekohia wo ho Now you see politicians are not enemies. Debbie, the character of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. That's the difference. President Mahama is a humble person from by birth. Ono ya dia go do brand hwase. Onya vindictive. Tizamo modiyano. Enti wo kan na wa kire mu yie. And I'm telling you, said ya ye boa ye ekasa ya ema President Mahama ba mu no. Saa na ye be kasa ma President Mahama succeed. Enti ade bi e be ye kantan cross bia no ye be make sure say ye be kate. Ye be kate na fi ho. Simple enti Mr. Agya Koo Ghana for ye nka say ya fe NPP. Menka bibio. What you say? Menka bibio. Why? Sropa. Chief Justice, former Chief Justice, Mami Gertrude, is about Tokunu. But Choka at the Akopia High Court to say, President Mahama, any committee, no report, no chance, or Yen free as Chief Justice, Nidibre Krano as Supreme Court Judge, and on CSS was sent to Yajakahu into a challenge and no our court to say, process no, Nani said that any home. It's no and 17 innocent. Yeah, Abba no we are not the Attorney General because any law no. Now the age there na or keka na dwenchire Ghana Bar Association no atoaso.
Yeah, my mencha na mencha what here for na menka say. Onse growing up no na akra bia we akra wadwen say panyin bia nim nyansa until say Obenyina do level be a also be share processing nema I put two things together and be say san panyin bia na nim nyansa asa da akra onim nyansa onwu onkra brem no onyini be panyini and it's the same thing sana first not in China you have no understanding about legal issues no be kana obite TV so na radio so sabi okay kan kwasa asem kra wadwen say sabi o Kenyans asem ko nsam na o ka no won ti ase but na ishan Kenya me say amanfo etimi really wide
sure
they subject issues to critical scrutiny field then you field cry na once you have your friend sense then you can analyze and look at certain things anything and who say Ghana for no do na venture into some of these areas otherwise they wouldn't go because people anya uncertain understanding na more that ahoden to probe into some of the issues like this. This Chief Justice issue, I think say what's in China would see say the sikwa na anya de oye no na sabi ebumabam na mum I give credence to the fact say in some Ghana for over the years say your judiciary no aye staffy and there are a lot of chaff aye pia kwa gugum no aye no correct because some of the arguments now also especially with this new way clearly within means that this is absolute nonsense and very childish in whichever sense that you want to say first of all or say relief now or seek for the want of jurisdiction or say president committee now or set it up say Tenase committee was not properly constituted. And this Okasa was not properly constituted under Article 146. Clearly, Constitution outline the individuals as a panel or more and two Supreme Court judges. And the President Mahama committee, two Supreme Court judges and and other people Nina was in line with the Constitution. So the mere fact that you have issues with the individuals in your twisted mind, you think they are not neutral, whatever. That's a different thing. But the fact is that to argue legally, say it was not properly constituted, on what basis in the law? And our said they were not legally constituted, and now two Supreme Court judges or almost Supreme Court judges, other person or a lawyer and or lawyer, and two Ghanaians or Togolese and Japanese. These are some of the arguments when you are able to ground your argument on some of these things, then people will say you are making sense. But my culture from day one, why supposed to advertising and one say, Lord, and American nim kind of us and no the sort of understanding about the law is totally different and very shocking because my culture. This is the Chief Justice or the administrative head of the Judiciary. Otiminya kukudro fa pen ni paper. Ede kokko to say, a constitutional provision your constitution might say proceedings of this nature should not be shown on TV but rather should be held in camera. She had the infantry to your friend saying right to court to say young vary that particular constitutional provision. Now you know with TV so no Ghana for but you need to look at the reasoning behind it. This is a Chief Justice who understands that this is an explicit constitutional provision and no court has the power to vary it. But for her to make a case that you change, we are Ghana near, you should be worried. And again, and she's saying, say, as a Chief Justice. Now, you as a Supreme Court judge. This is absolute nonsense. And you see, and I make us say, KCBA, Mami, we yatna subiano. The new Chief Justice should be petitioned. Now, open those cases because if this mindset and all the tenor who did this same way, clearly just something untoward might have occasioned somewhere. But because the reasoning and understanding of the law, no, is some way weird because you are Chief Justice, is premised on the facts that we are your friends justices of the Supreme Court. So when you become your friends a Chief Justice, you are an S official because you cannot be a Chief Justice without being your friends Justice of the Supreme Court, of the Supreme Court. So once you're a Chief Justice playing an administrative role, you are an S official, meaning your position as a Chief Justice is tied to the fact we are your friend
Supreme Court
judge. And here is the case. You have been flagged, you are incompetent legally because the constitutional process has been set in motion and you have been flagged as an incompetent person or flouted law. So and some of these things have to do with character. And as a woman, baby, you be here so you better discharge uttermost of integrity and the character. It is not the Chief Justice, it is the judge as a Supreme Court judge. As I don't know whether you get it. So if the whole argument is what from and you are now a disgraced Chief, a disgraced Chief Justice. You have been flagged. So what bumra, one famra nyajuma, what the open away, and you as a Chief Justice. It means that integrity is battered. And if there is an institution where absolute integrity is required to engineer its activities, it is the Justice of the Supreme Court. So once you've been removed as a Chief Justice, there is no way, no sensible person can make any argument to say you can come back as what? As a Supreme Court judge. Because you are a disgraced person, you be a good and you say catch us a one family and to why and the member Supreme Court I'm about telling him say dinasa mano. This thing is common sense. And sometimes you listen to people trying to make argument for some of these. Say sometimes you see Fabu Kunutu in China just use common sense, reasonable. If you try to be reasonable, you know say some of these things are highly untenable because. For instance, my more example, Oko teaching hospital, very often the doctors and your friend is saying CEOs. So wako a particular hospital, Oko no CEO at Akwachi or Bash and office, our neda our officer, or Bano for Sono, Yaksano as a CEO. Or yes, I did because or in the power as a CEO no when you take advantage in a Yaksano. Some person I yachina say, yeah, some meaning, on to be the CEO of the hospital. Now, obey by a doctor, our hospital. Because assembly has to do with moral character, what display actually say, with integrity. Go to your judiciary, your friends say all the regulations in absolute and in no uncertain terms. So when you're judge, you must espouse integrity. You must advertise integrity. You must live integrity at its uttermost. This is somebody who has been seen and who has been flagged. And a constitutional provision, and as a constitutional provision has been activated. And now you have become a disgraced Chief Justice in Aminu. You become a disgraced officer. Such an officer, you argue with say, back. Now do you think any serious person will even ever respect the judiciary ever again? Because putting somebody who has been flagged as an incompetent person. So some of these arguments, and I don't know, baby, the law. Now I don't know the kind of interpretation sometimes, and I will be surprised. And our money, yes, or somebody should whisper to her, say, oh, good, and you see, years of dedication, there was several arguments now, or making or subjecting who to public mockery. Because don't you ever think, say, What are we Chief Justice? You are an embodiment of the law. You understand it, and nobody should speak. No, there are other areas that people can just subject it to critical scrutiny and begin to ask questions. Your understanding of the law is flawed, and then that brings back to question. And some of what's not to be seen there. So anyway, and all the time, so it's problematic. You understand? That is why I am calling your friends the new. The Chief Justice said every single case we are talking no biano, they all ye should give us a reason to go back and probe into some of this, because this thinking and this reasoning, should never be allowed to come anywhere close to be sitting at the Supreme Court bench. So I think it's very embarrassing watching all this. Then coming the to the force, baby, the last time I said we started, the very moment the petition was submitted, the President Kasi me established a credence, and I told you on point blank, say there is no going back. This woman, whatever way be, because you see, at the Supreme Court, you know, I think because I do not we are so special. Nipper to me change the future. The only institution ever to me to take your life. Or make me say Yankoku, Nansana Yasa Yamrani Yasana Kakra. But this is the only institution that can withdraw your right to life. So it is such a sensitive institution. Say we are judge now anymore. You must discharge integrity. People have, even though we are Nipper there, but you must endeavor, try your best to ensure, say you will not. You find the shame public confidence in that kind of idea, man, for war. But so better now argument I will make it, and I say President need to me say Obasa cannot and process, it's not in line with the dictate of article. Article 146, Ebia or no version I them already, and answer the version Makacho said this whole process is not a novelty. Because Oko Constitution and mention Chief Justice and mention your friends head of the tribunal, whatever, and there's some mention of your friends judges at the Supreme Court. It is a categorization and and the process now you remove a judge at the Supreme Court way, and one you remove Chief Justice. The only difference there is just by name and by identification. And a Chief Justice, the only way we are different from a judge on the Supreme Court bench, and say you have been given extra administrative role. Chief Justice no can administrative role. And your core function is a judge. Is the reason why I be a Chief Justice sell you are just an S official. A Chief Justice is premised on the fact that you are a judge. And when you're a judge, you cannot assume that. You cannot assume that role. And the flag was we are incompetent. I was say, okay, Munji Chief Justice, now we have a sense of shame. No reason will even make this argument. So I think that some now is a bit twisted. Maybe and I cannot assemble na who answer for maybe. They are not giving her wise counsel because this is take care at some point. I'm told to say or the Akufo President Mahama Charles resign. So clearly, if something no cry, I give you an impression of somebody who is not stable. Somebody who is emotionally unstable, and people are just engineer or push you and I'm sure so you see why inspire a lot of among for and why inspire more. This is not an opportunity to be good anymore because some of the arguments she's making obviously are quite childish and they are irrelevant and good anymore. She's just subjecting herself to public ridicule because there is no court. Let me say there is no court in this land. I look at what so I'll bet me arrival at a decision say the woman should go back to the Supreme Court. No court. That court will be the most unreasonable court ever because that particular ruling will defy reasoning, it will defy common sense, and it will defy logic. It will never happen. So she should know better and stop all this nonsense. You understand? And rather find a way. If there is a way, accept your fate, you still have life. Now the public service in the Yabamano. And I don't go say already Supreme Court and now Supreme Court. I know among from where by Juma, they've even more stop here more in their private enterprises, they're doing better. So is she saying that she cannot thrive and answer that because process now President Akufo Addo, no, it will be very almost impossible for any court to reverse it. Because don't forget that the president just exercised an executive authority. For it to be revoked, no, you need a mountain of a reason, reasonable, sound, and very logical to be able to cancel it. So the all I think that is just politics. Or I dare say in free space, you know, because I say me not here you see, because of you know. Maybe she thought say it was going to trigger a wave of public sentiment among for Bekambiamano. But we say Galamse issue crab a kata. Ghana for you know Ghana for are concerned about the sanctity of the institution called the judiciary. They don't care about any individual. And to what Nasa Braba Obonyina egu sa judiciary no hu fia samba obi anka bi ma. Metesa one of NPP boys if you got na TV say NDC for aye. Yefa Ghana for Adro. Na eye no nwanwa say omopam chief justice amanfo bufu. No, people don't care. Because abro omoto omo judiciary no ba brabobone ma ruling na say binyansa nim no. Ya Ghana for warn them. On social media young people are out there advocating the need the judiciary will restore its sanity back. People are using it as an instrument of terror. People are using it as an instrument to cow people into subjugation, intimidating people and do a whole lot of nasty stuff. And you think and your friends say we're not turning on you. Young people will waste their time because Chief Justice, who cares about you? Understand? So I think that she miscalculated this whole thing. Mr. President Mahama from Emra, I will be the first person to sit here and call him out. And I'm saying, since the activation of this whole process thus far, nobody, and with her surrogate, you know, when the TV so Kenyans are say, oh, Article way was breached, Article way was breached. Nobody. All that they say, and the floodgate has been opened. A buying for bar, or no super pump chief just me said that me say we shouldn't change any law because there is no constitution under the sun anywhere in the world. You can check any democracy. Granting absolute tenure to anybody operating under a constitution. Always there is a window for removal. Even the president, who is the most powerful person on this land, you know, can be removed through impeachment by parliament. So we cannot create a shield of a position. The best guarantee I will be papa. Now I'm making sure that you inspire public confidence, and trust. That tenor safeguarded. But no law, no legislation can safeguard you if you decide to do things. Maybe you got Russia, South Korea, North Korea, other like China, no more democracy, or more dia, and that's a different thing. But in any civilized democratic dispensation, trust me, there is no position that is ironclad. I do and think I talk about our hands are tied. No, we needed to save the judiciary, and for me that is it. I mean, I don't know my catch up President Mahama said. You see, maybe I sanitizing the judiciary, you know. Make me focus in near Soha. Say you come from her, Sabi. Kwasi ruling a man for a man or from Hono, okay, be with at the lower court. Most of them travel to the high court and they quash them. Let us spend time and go to the grounds, the lower court magistrate in as a form of
circuit court. Exactly.
A man for a gentleman and Kokon as a for the man will as a binyan signing. Obiako, we are Kokon, ya jail 30 years in as a form. I think your sentencing regime, no, we need to look at it holistically. Now you're making sure, say, and ma for the mrabaya juma and the process is very transparent. Obia otikota odia semdia no qualify with that integrity and on nipa what demonstrators obey bias. And now quite a high court now. Most of them Akufo Addo staff almost 100 judges before Ansana free home. And some of these people are party executive, people with non-party ties. Very soon, these people will rise and become Supreme Court judges with their own biases. I know that what will be the future of this judiciary. That is why I am calling on whoever becomes the Chief Justice going forward, to spend the time in not look at the judiciary, don't sanitize it, because our culture is one institution we cannot afford to fail. Now see the dear grown-ups and near magic yensema. That's a Ghana for sorry. Obi abegani okroma. So it's for Mami way there. Everybody should see her as a disgraced Chief Justice who has been sacked. She's no more relevant in the scheme of affairs. Let us forget her. She can go to court. And I'm saying that this particular way, court in about because this thing has no reasonable basis. I will be generous or granting anything. She's frustrated. Unfortunately, she's not heeding to wisdom and wise counsel. And I ogun anima say, Uncle Sungun anima say, no one about to obey. But never oye fakwe munyansa bi anim. I think Ghana for should focus and ask the president say, dear aba no beba so no, dear na ye kano. Say yen sanitize your judiciary no. Chief Justice corner doesn't mean that we are done. Then my focus is on the lower court. Yeah, unimbi. Uko lower court wa nema ya cost no air time. We need to spend time and make sure that we sanitize the judiciary. And for me, that is the most important thing. I know what Chief Justice arrogance and then she's fighting her way back to come and sit on what bench. And I always say the impunity in the Supreme Court bench. So I think she should give us a break.
All right, for age Diana to us, so Kofi Simon someone should tell Mr. Siedunketia to stop the thank you to. They ask for Chief Justice, leave her alone. She has no case. She's abusing the affirmative action as a woman. Oh, please tell President Mahama for me that if pre-bargaining is a plea bargaining, PLE, correct is favor NPP and NDC criminal, then it must favor the phone stealers, plantain, goat stealers, and food items because they are also Ghanaian. I think I agree with you. If I one more person move my corner there, and then we are going to Yako number jame. I don't know what I'm doing too. I think you are making a lot of sense. And see, age,
me side me no back on double age abaso back so obesia I go day in top. Yes, the the courage to confront the friends of the Ghana Bar Association. Many people think that these are a esteemed group of lawyers. They should be the moral compass of the legal fraternity in this country. You may have your partisan alliances and biases, but in the discharge of your role as a moral compass of an entity, regulating the legal fraternity in this country, you must discharge that way, a partisan, neutral, and gender trust, public confidence. Somebody a man who said this is a body to the idea Ghana for. But in recent times, the Ghana Bar Association has gained notoriety for being dangerously partisan biased. And the biases are quite obvious. And for me, nobody has been able to call them out. Yes, some of us have been sitting here and be calling them, say, such biases, sometimes are quite nauseating. You understand? You may have your political affiliation, affinity, or whatever. But don't use the institution or the agency and as a group now to be fronting your weird views about any other political party. When this whole Chief Justice thing started, we had them making some unwitty noise and some unwitty criticisms. I know that they could not even ground their criticism on anything in law. It was just mere emotional fan and I know more. I know that they Ghana for Basio, they couldn't even come back again. And the Basana, it means that you as an institution, you have no credibility. Because if you start a fight, now we're more grounds, now some hetewa. You have to prepare and come back again. They went back. Since then, it means that it's some sort of an agenda group. A pressure group of a political party. And it's not supposed to be so. Because in some Chief Justice, almost sorry. And now William Fise, there are people who almost suffer the wrath of Article 146 in this country. Mekaye, Shroud Boss, went through the same process. Salato said, now, Kuma, or Kwana, the end of the answer NPP Baba Court, or Baba Power, no, or what in the court, Emma, back and forth, or by no ye, no. So President Mahama, they said, no, cancel, sanitize it, the judiciary. This is a people, what time not in the court, and in a chair, Kai, your friend, Commission NPP, Kuma say. Abu Ramadan and as a forum. Issues no be a contentious issue. They went ahead, found reason to remove that particular woman. Ghana Bar Association never uttered a word. Kroma say President Akufo Addo Abra announced an investigation of 4 judges na Ghana Bar Association no more to China and no more Togo. They never issued a statement. You understand? And President Mahama, yes, you have every right if something goes wrong. But there hasn't been any constitutional infraction thus far. And if you are crying foul, the question is, what is the basis? Ebasa, you may be doing it with a good of intention, but people will see you say, oh, wait a group of we are more advocating for a political party.
Yeah.
And for me, that professional group, should not be doing that. And that's the worry. And I'm Ghana for you. I'll go and look at any news item that comes with Ghana Bar Association. Go down and read the comments. Because trust me, sir, kind of way I'm for expecting any hobium. And when a group now I'm for respecting you are dead. And that is what this particular institution is paling into insignificance if they don't know. Because all TV and I've listened to a lot of good lawyers in this country who have tend to even criticize them, say it's some kind of a saboteur group, some individuals who are fronting on what their political agenda. Because say Yatsna Kroma, Ghana for a man for human rights, ya abusu, yachi a man for ya court abdati a man for home. Bongo ideas, I crack it out in the field, Yakofana Najo. Mami airport company in for what is a Ghana Bar Association can say Mrabi obiti Mrasoa. Now what Transika no pardonas and Yama who in our castle. Now all of a sudden you turn around that. And now William Akufo Addo Etisano or Moody Sans Murina Ghana for cancer say and Mrabi ba that's a man for Sasa more Casa. They will remind them.
Yeah.
And here we are. Eto bi asabi wunim nyansa akura no nsam bi wo ha because of some of these things you even be careful how to navigate but Anam said the biases are quite obvious they can't even hide it. So I think we see some of these things and it's the reason why they've lost credibility. Nobody even take them serious. Even there are lawyers who are part of them, they don't even regard them anymore. You understand? And so I'm not telling you sober reflection, they will know they've lost their essence and that there is the need for them to also undergo that plastic surgery now to recapture their old glory. Because now I'm for GD or Ghana Bar Association as but I know it is a political movement and nobody takes it serious anymore. And then on the side of the plea bargaining, you see, we cannot be sitting here and be hiding behind constitutional phrases, jargons, and those kind of nonsense just to buy people way out. You see, Adeba Ghana for Gina somebody to Obama John Mahama Pa say, hold these criminals accountable.
Exactly.
That term is non-negotiable. That is what people are looking at. People want justice because we feel some individuals being to me. And by the virtue of the fact of we are Ghana for ball, Ghana for chrono, and we are not going to sit down for that particular thing to continue. And the only way to stop it under this John Mahama administration is to by punishing those who stole in the past. And you need to show your friends a readiness. You need to show certain combativeness, certain your friends a willingness. Be a man for we are really serious. Yes, plea bargain. Maybe people don't know. You see. This whole concept of plea bargain, emerged somewhere in the 19th century in America. And the reason was quite just simple, America, those in the 19th century, before it became institutionalized in common law jurisdiction, America started first. Now, they did now, court now cases no door so to because na crime was on the industrial way, no crimes cost be defendant and prosecutor tell us and send me doors until the more to say budi for no more now you pay and samamra then they started negotiating with the defense the guilty plea for no now say are you ready to bring it me the beba na ya ma bia 1 year kwadam na say be ya pressure na case load na e wo ho no ye be free na judges le benya omo when they started in America, one thing and very common is it undermines justice. Because the whole essence of this criminal justice system is to make sure we get justice. Because we offend you, we need to make sure we balance the stage. Nipa na we affected we feel comfortable say yes, but they feel sad na undermine justice. So the argument in the course then it got adopted into common law jurisdiction and common law so you to spread the and the woman but the core criticism now has never changed. It undermines justice yet 2022 when they amend the law and Akufo no lead the amend the law the very people more chance who say hey mind they say the real do a level beer ye kofia ya nhwe ya enema be kobone and let us change the laws na yam fa plea bargaining no meshem na say ye ko wia na ye kotena fie kwa na say ye nkrofo no bi ho kan all that you do is say yes no cry me fa me no be negotiate. So you see, that particular way now, Attorney General has become so much fixated on it. Or the Trump card or the Nam Town was a political card. And Akufo played that all. So you are just going by their playbook. If you are smart, I don't know whether you get the argument.
I get it.
Because he's the one defending most of these criminals today. And he's the one who led that particular thing because he was the Attorney General and Parliament as a rubber stamp entity. They had it slotted into our law. Yes, it will be good for good reasons, but not when the stakes are high. Highly contentious political issues the general public are looking for nothing because Ghana want blood. Yeah. They want to see blood oozing because people have committed atrocities, both economic and political atrocities against this country. And they want to see people bleeding. So you cannot be playing plea bargaining and be using legal jargon. And the history, where it came from, and the major criticism I travel history with, and that criticism has never. The question is, way. So if it is about caseload, do we have issue with caseload? And I say a caseload, they been a year to mitigate it. My culture say across the regions, court will be. So why can't we even decentralize this court system? Na se nipa na omo wia no ye di obi asem watamale ye di obi de otachima ye di obi de osunya at the same time. And say any resources let us resource the entity just to ensure that the judiciary will have the capacity to be able to do some of these things. Because you see, we are not in a rigid criminal justice system here. Yes, you are operating a criminal justice system in isolation. We are doing politics and it is governance. So you see, when you stick to law and you forget about the fact that you are governing, you forget about the fact that you are leading people who have genuine sentiment. That's who play by the strict rules of law. Whenever now what disconnected with the people. Whenever now the governance and the political aspect of it, what lose favor with the people and you go down. You understand? So some of these things, are meant for other private way or they can argue. But when you are in part of a government and you are leading your friends at the judiciary, you cannot be playing this plea bargaining card. You need to make sure say satisfy what the people want. Or Ghana for instance, and you see some of the mistakes a lot of mistakes. But NDC taking over power. When they started no case, submission of no case, most of the I told you that this thing will come back to bite you. The very moment they started cutting people loose, you drench your credibility. So you know that it will not survive our ruling. And let us travel and let it die naturally. And people will not point fingers at you because you cannot be. Your friends are taking your people out of prosecution cases in the and expect to be the case. You see, some of this is common sense. If only you are willing. When that thing started, I said, "This we are shooting yourself in the foot." Say and I said, your friends saying, "Why I to force and I say, yeah, court." Now, seven or what I say who say Nima. Because of say yes, ordinary that's what you're supposed to do. Exactly. Allow me to go through. Because a normal judicial system, yes, it is good to make that decision, but governance is part of it. Because at the same stage, there will be a repair show. And it's a case make sure that you speed up the process and let the court pronounce judgment on it and set the people free. You don't cancel cases and expect to say amount for will agree with you when you go after these people. You understand? So I think that these are the mistakes. I know that they are buying at the early stages. And no, you appear a bit compromised. Amount for who will call left and now will call right. Because amount for because I was starting to for freedom. Behind then I'll over the prosecuting and then you may even have the will, but people don't even trust you anymore. Especially when you flip in this plea bargaining thing. So I think that the plea bargain, it's not what the people of this country want. They want their money to be recouped, especially where Nippon we are your friend is saying phone away. wako yisua say fabra na ya na say obi negotiate na sika no 16%. Even where the person is willing to pay extra, yeah. Na me call Bank of Ghana na me ko wia $10,000 and $100,000. Na me di ko didwa.
Now the Koye investment.
Yeah. Now 10 years after, Obasa Obabeje, now for 10% extra crime to say you are motivating people to engage in criminality. And all that you have to do is to find good lawyers or bet me a delay court case in your court. Now with your business. I know that you make money and be able to pay and pay back. I am not sure that this plea bargaining thing is deterrent enough. We need to walk away from it. It is not for the AG to be negotiating for criminals on their behalf or whatever. We need to be very brutal and very ruthless, especially in America and other places. You know, we see Omono democracy, you know, or more crowd to a pointer. They've been able to attain economic independence. So in America, we are not quite still, the economy will not come down. We are starting from the ground. Try to build the economy. There should be zero incentive or motivation for people to engage in criminal economic crime. We need to make it a very high risk entity people will not like to go into. And the plea bargaining is not something to start with.
Yeah.
I think Nasa existing criminal justice system and make room for say
yeah.
So this thing is not a novelty. The existing criminal justice system now the government opportunity to take the money and at the same time
jail
the person.
Well.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I think what the government will need now is the willingness to go after these people because Ghana for our watch Makatro. So President Mahama top boss Ghana and ABR. Now or the $100,000 to be account to now 4 years so not just criminals are still masquerading walking on the street of this country. The government will suffer badly, I'm telling you.
All right. My your last topic, and to us Mohammed will say I found it so fantastic. Keep the fire burn. Mohammed will say what is wrong with this former Chief Justice Kra? Was a good submission by Ivan Che Innocent. Saving Joe or say why is solo please solo back next week. So, all right. Strong Ahmed will say he lied to the short memory group that after giving him mandate within 4 months in office, the Galam say will stop. Okay, now what do we see? Lies and thievery everywhere, and these lies are inseparable. All right, NDC and lies are inseparable. All right, okay, so way in chato. Dr. Baumia Pacho on behalf of NPP as a political party, and then was say appointees, ministers, Obia, including Onuemu, or my Ghana for Bonnie to was Ghana for say, Yanfa one Bonnie and Chewomo. Oriana, Dr. Richum Gasabram Sro. Oh, power bonnet one for me. May my education me fix say, one I will say economy into a patchwa, unqua patcho. Now, no see Yana, ya the 10 cents of a duchum swabber. Now can it or no cousins if you are matani wo, one about me, I have banta pen about me, also, me as well as I had free. And over the 10 cents of a duchum swabber.
I do me, Madame, Mese Uncle Pentecost. Preaching about Fataro, Pentecost or Sunday now, soon seen this one or the president. Yeah, bro. Yeah, but I think it's funny. And I'm say there is no modicum of respect I attach it to the politics that we do here.
Yeah.
We think we are still dealing with the gullible folks who know who are more left from their right. Omofri said the people are still submerged in this unwitty childish politics drenched with emotions that kind of media and at any point in time somebody or feels a politician can take the people for granted, say any nasty stuff and get away with it because Dr. Baumia abaimu nana failure na all can one quite apparent. When the economy got worse, that was the time I think I apologize to the people of this country.
But I'm not so
even after elections, I told you, sir, they needed to go. How many times I'm on Tranka said they needed to go on their knees and apologize to the people of this country, even on this platform, because you messed the economy up. The people repose trust and confidence in you. You betrayed them. You pretend and say you had all the theories, whatever. At the end of the day, you came in to perceive selfish parochial interest. Every other corruption and taking center stage. You left the economy in the mess, in the tatters. Ghana economy, still grabbing nothing and yet try to put pieces together. And the Nipa no apologize on their behalf. President now di a corner nim na nkasa tifie. Onyenya akokodro maka ncha Ghana for munya akokodro na modi to me ma menti me be pa mo chawo. He still feel comfortable, and I've listened to a lot of people who say, "Oh, Akufo, ya fear Akufo Addo." Say, "Ya na mo be more but damn." You don't even understand governance politics.
Agya Koo classic Ghana for you na yesu.
He said already he's a joker. Maybe I don't know whether he understands. So you see, and Samna that's the gravity of issues. Among for nam so awo.
Yeah.
I know prominent Ghanaians who mo ebia ya kunafo ebi mo lose omo mama no papa no. And you think this concept of an apology will bring back the very people they lost?
No.
When you took those reckless economic decisions, you knew at the time say adena wo ye no other means could have been activated to ensure by says but you were not prudent. People were stealing. People were making money. People were packing money. Oba be jina aka say me na me finance party no me to pick up 350 way. Because adwuma be na wo ye ya wutimi to pick up 350 dem obi. Na so obi na de be chair wa. John Mahama kwaje Ford ba ko pe free obi ho no. Ye say oye corrupt. Na wa wo ye vice president obi be chaw. Ye fan say pick up makoma ko 350 no wo ye den.
Ford no kwa ba so mbetwi. Pick up the party for the echi. Exactly.
So you and I make say your politics na ye ye ja to hold them into bia ye de ope. And I think say ye tena say aye strict financial monitoring e wo kroma ahwehwe kwan ya manfo fa so munye mu sika no ba bia free ba whether it is legitimate or not. Nipa no tua ho your friends say tax anase won tua. I am not sure say you see some of these jokers parading na me sika na my way because every amount bia you mention bia the financial intelligence unit should be able to track you to know where you are getting that particular money from. Because obia who seek it to go to the higher office, you should not be having ties with sources we cannot verify. Who knows if the people financing you are drug barons? What are their criminal syndicates? So I know that the Woje power now they are coming to take over, and I know some of the other jurisdiction drug cartel as far take over because they finance and sponsored most of the candidates. You understand? So I think that Baumia there, he's desperate. Just trying to seek relevance because there is nothing about Ghana for convince we some mano because the original way now holding in an economy and 8 years we go and you must Ghana for say one number because economy near the share one sa what is the pansam and there na woko gina so and Akufo Addo aban ni nyina nkasa so ye a very terrible way you to me for your campaign and he doesn't have any way beyond the campaign. So now he's playing the sympathy card. Let me go and apologize to Ghana for no muhume but my men can't tell us near Mahunu na pa ho so pasa what tia ko na no baby amkoto ewa kwatia. They were telling people so our corner oh mama yense na dimonyam na wuru kwana for so wu na and this for na chain from odi wu ye. People did not vote for you because of that. What young people want today is development. How their life eco progress because over the years we've been taken for granted. Somebody becomes a politician all of a sudden fabulously rich or sissy mansions now nobody questions anybody. And the young people have come to the realization say we can no longer continue to monetize the political space and make people rich at our expense. When the resources must be discharged in such a way say obiya benyebi and to me na kwanya na wunya no abrabo papa be na the boy no
exactly
abrabo na wo bo no did you ever even realize say na wo ye something wrong na and then na buy Dr. Baumia na economy na ya to the deal west kid na se for na on kan ho asem na odi IT achi when you know nothing about technology na IT na se for you don't know anything about it. They ever trash on some other number or the kekan and the economy no abandon them. But who said Baumia na I know or I na Wi-Fi? They say on your economy. Yes, Wi-Fi sign and this is a guy who has distanced himself from the economy and that he's fronting digitalization and IT. Now we are no and even nature is not in support of Niema or Moyen. So I think that my major concern is that I'm praying say young people will grow in mind. They become mature in politics. They begin to understand. So you see them through. Because man, it doesn't take a second to see a liar and I will be all kinds of we don't need to take that person serious. And I think that is where we are today. And he's doing all these things when Yaa Titi to be saying all this because politics now has become so cheap. Because in other jurisdictions, and can they cause respect for the people of this country and can their best number can say, oh, Ghana for me, and you let me get out of the race. Now in the future, I will come back again. In America, it happens. It happens most of the time. Joe Biden, abroad, your friend is saying, Abrantia with Mr. Abrantia, Obama.
Yeah, Obama.
Everyone, at the end of the turn, now he was the best person to run. But I'm saying at the end of the turn, near my back, Joe Biden didn't show up. And then the man, your friend said, we're in the Clinton, you don't buy, or buy your uncle and son after 4 years of preparing on Obama because Abino, you cannot distance yourself from Obama government. Their cause were uncle, you be in the core
part of it,
and it's fresh on the minds of the people. They are angry, so they don't want to see you. So you cannot distance yourself from the president and say the media when they were doing it. No, that means you are a coward. Because me, I want to take responsibility for whatever that I do. I will not run away. Tell people, yes, we meant good, but it didn't turn out well. We apologize. We are going to sit back. By now, shifting blame, and then cry is so funny. And other people are also NPP now So I think that let's continue to engage Ghanaians. Say Ghana for anything. Now omu politics I say near emotions and I'm santini na me when any answer from adrenim and they begin to premise their reason for voting on something reasonable. I'm sure that a lot of these people will pale into irrelevant because my catch political stage near cheap and a lot of people have taken over the stage wearing expensive clothes but very cheap in mind. At the end I said no boy heading but I did then it very cheap. Your friend saying at the folks was no I've been in order. And these people should not be given the opportunity to come close anywhere to governance. And also in recent times. So I think let us attach seriousness to governance. Now you make sure but yet the other boy pescantina kwabrane betimi abegina ka say ma babra ma sisi adan we isile go manya sikantino ye me president oh but damn na say the sika na di president enka ye fan say Elon Musk na so for na rule America ye
nya let us say contract letter say me technical officer technical officer and say ye call for that machines na be say no me omo ye be repair machines so I rose through the ranks from technical officer and I'm be technical head.
Okay.
And I'm more maybe head of systems until me if you me free ho.
Yeah, Pamo Canada. Yeah, the politics Pamo.
2007. Me any company be a friend Sergeant Mofro.
Okay.
Sergeant or France. Me car back or 7 we said the be will be who say be a free year I be do because I am normally I am more twisty issues you know. Into 2007 and I started here with what we call a system called centralized system.
Okay.
And that centralized system, then they say, and I at the omo machines in baby out, and I baby away juma near be register.
Okay.
You register we are near the normal data now. You register Yaa Titi. You do data in your go see this so near the backra.
Okay.
Tinanka ya plenty amount. Until 2008, 1st July, and you started registration. Me say me call Akufo Addo lower than that was central region. He started now Professor Dumo and an head. He started you know your central region you print here you register omo you call Western region. This Western region second part in the Western region and they change Professor Dumo and Professor Tifa ebai. So no so many year juma. Until in the run up to the 2008 elections, and after the 2008, now there was a change in government. And Professor Mills ebai, and no change Professor Dumont and Dr. Haji ebai. So also by and I consultant be by me also Kwame Griffiths. So by and no cast what are so quality data no? And data na more quality. One testing share say more the print here be Ohana Dr. Haji Haji 2 no say and the starting printed cards ni bi. Ni en say be juma. Nti ohono na ye print Greater Accra. That time I register one more Greater Accra. And yes, since Greater Accra be there, ye Greater Accra first.
Okay.
Nti you know you printing about 2.1 million cards in Greater Accra.
Greater Accra.
You printing to because say you printed cards under NDC and you no correct. Maybe me there by old one anyway.
Old one anyway. Okay, so that's the old one.
Inti.
Where
2009. And you print here. You printed 2.1 million cards.
Okay.
But you call only 900,000 people pay the budget card.
2.1.
You call only 900,000 people pay the budget card. Reason they say, once me find say me back CTV had a barrier registration na. Now me saba back in 6 months time. Say me be distributing cards na. Ni pare bia be bana Yaa Titi unti ebiem.
Na me ni ha biem.
Ebia otu akobe fofo.
Ti se bia fidadam ho ba bia na. Se me card wo ho abekọ na me ho.
Oni ho. Inti a create problem. Ohono na government ka say, "Eh, say ka say ye Greater Accra 6 months ni. Ani e call ye nipa 900,000 per day. Any central region near this ye call there ye nyobia. So na government elusi revenue eboka. Inti aban ye na adwen say any sadie. Ade na ye a new system you bet me buy a register na near print ama.
Oh, okay. Jina Hoje. That was around 2012. Okay.
Ujina ona na yayama. It based on that and in 2012 a binding we LI a call parliament.
Okay.
That is LI 2111. And see ena law na ma Ghana card a mandatory for use no. You passing in 2012
under the
Professor Mills Mahama regime. Now, Oshe law na a case of 7, section 7 na mandatory use of the national ID card.
Okay.
It says that 7.1 with your permission. Or say a national identity card issued to an individual shall be used. Once a law muye case shall and share. Used for the following transactions where identification is required.
Okay.
Into koye transaction bia na ye case for card bi ba. This is all the Ghana card. And it goes ahead to list all the services. Or say application for issuance of passports.
Okay.
Driver's license, opening of bank accounts, insurance, registration of lands, SIM card registration, pensions, consumer registration of voters, payment of tax, application for public government services, and a whole lot. And as I go ahead, say executive secretary and I said minister in charge through gazetting can add more services to it.
Oh, okay.
In 2012 and you pass away because government anticipated say Ghana card ne per se use the ABBA. Inti ohona margins group and IMS.
Okay.
Amu approach here na I'm say ye beti my system oba ya ni issue ama. Ni ayama.
Okay.
Inti ohono na government e ka say mbeti me ayama idea. Me mon started with Ghana for. Mon started with foreigners. Because our law no mandate say you register Ghana for any foreigners are Ghana ha.
Okay.
Until mon started with the foreigners. Na mo be charge you $120.
Ni who say be a
year. To mon piloting for 2 years. Mon piloting for 2 years. Ne year. Na fi dia mam kwan say afi dia mon fi register Ghana for. Until 2013 and a government sign here say you started. Until 2013 and you started issuance of Ghana card, foreigners identity management cards, foreigners. It's a woman 2015, and a government who say, "I deal with the moye and aye." It's a bit bit more expanded Ghana for.
Okay.
It's 2015, and a government card say yes, idea, mon fast new systems no embra. Ni embeye Ghana for.
Okay.
Now there was a typical issue, say man no money delay. The issue was because company na ne omoye system no. Na agban de omoka. Na agban peso betua because na system no was a cake. Na pin numbers na ye de issue ma ono. Me say na use media manyunyam Ghana card. Na metimi dia transactions. So my pin number system no mu dada.
Want me nya foforo.
And now government say you impair the situation where you best scrapping the whole system completely. You find a way as some banner me be register with new system now. Message the same pin.
The same pin.
Into that time, no now old former vendor, no more person be cooperative with NI for.
Yeah, so what do you want?
Into the new technical partner no have to go do a lot of research and everything until say how they were generating it. Until I say now we can start it, but now about funding other issues. It was a PPP.
Yeah.
It was sure obia okore oje ni Ghana card in 2009 any omo a mo di omo de say no pin number ni nyina dey save.
Oh, okay.
Enti wo de opa hwe me card no old one pin no GS no any pin no I want new one no we won't say the same because that time that government per se inconsistency with
okay GHA 004 we say 004 okay now say the same pin number and unyai. Oh, okay.
Because now buying per se old one no you to go completely.
Okay.
It is say so call NIA. Now say Yaa Titi in 2009, 2007 they started registration. Who can register now your date of birth 1985. Now and then who can now say 1996 system never reject you. Because data near register in if uploaded into the new system. Sanity here. In 2014, and a government card says since after the Akufo Addo be started. Now that time, now government be a chance NIA be started. Institutions never say NIA started yet. Any obia so no koto efis biometric.
Yeah.
It's not SNIT. Also be say eto amu biometric. Into obia so be capture fingerprints. SNIT. We say a film say DVLA, NHIA. Amu nyina number so me yebi. Number so me yebi. To honor na government on the 18th of June, 2014, and signed by Prosper D.K. Bani, Chief of Staff there.
Yeah.
A sign is a moratorium on acquisition of automated fingerprint identification system by ministries, departments, and agencies.
Okay.
The Honor government has said no government agency should go ahead and purchase any system again and wait for NIA.
Okay.
And then who says SNIT or SNIT card now SNIT number, your Ghana card number. NHIS number, your Ghana card number. BBI tin number, your Ghana card number because near per se, centralized system or be up data or be call NIO data na free mo. Enti womuna 2016, you can say 4th year Antwata and I can say ana NDC elusive power and a new government buy no say ne sadie NIA adwuma bia na mo ye bia na previous government mo ntwen ne informal technical committee no mo hwe say new systems na mo pese mo ye no mo ye ebeye na say enye. So the technical committee was set up by the former vice president, His Excellency Dr. Baumia.
Okay.
Ana amu ye technical committee no amu wie no amu de report by the report in the dameni mi sabe fama on read and answer me kai
What the wa kai bi ba me
it's a report in the by no amu did 3 amu be see based on a thorough examination of the technical requirement for an effective NIS for Ghana. The committee concludes that it is feasible to use any of the 3 options. In terms of the 3 options by some share system to share picture be by na minini Dr. Baumia that was the time I'm mobile because that time in Yanam that's all 3 options na buy. First option is say yen use existing registration that the data na aye no dada no ni emfa money pa foforo enye and na say yes scrap bibia yes start bibia foforo and na say jena NIA ye no eye papa enti ento aso. Okay. Say miensa say the NIA
data dada no Emma new company no one year. And I just scrap the NIA aye ni nyina. And I said the NIA ye ne eye ento aso. Okay.
Now this was what the committee said. Or see in the case of option A, all members of the committee except one person prefer option A. Specifically confirmed that option A no say the NIA ye no eye ento aso. Almost say there exists a 10-key solution. That means the solution na NIA no a good and to aso. And I'm say the solution is an expansion of the films project said the developed by IMS for NIA under a public-private partnership agreement. Based on that, no, and on the 22nd May 2017, Honorable Fema Opare, Chief of Staff. A short letter come out Professor Atefa, but your baby will be a channel. A car say Based on the results of the review of the technical committee, government has determined that the existing agreement between National Identification Authority and Identity Management System (IMS) constitutes a viable and effective vehicle for implementation of a modern, robust, and reliable national identification system for Ghana.
Okay. Not just say wait, let's say you're not NIA, no, a ye to us. Not just a systems now, more yes to a two honor, and one and I was said to us. Okay.
Based on that, no, Anna, government to share me who some the picture to former president and vice president by NIA. That was the time I launched system, no, by NIA. Ebe lunch no that time ni na me wo
now that's
all the lunch we and issue card ma but after that no and it follow her to the processor in 2019 and I started 2018-2019 and I started mass registration me bo ma ba so at least I'm buy no I'm to so register nkofo as at now you register 18.9 million Ghanaians. Wow. 18.9 million. As at the 2019, now the adult population now we were estimating was 19.6 million.
Okay.
But as I say, almost 600. Yeah. So the NI abakosem no ebedru no. Into we share my appointment on the 17th of January 2025. And I'm resuming on 2020. Because NIA, one thing that we drew her shocking me was that na Akufo bebre go. I'm about pay registration Ghana card. Because not only 8 premium centers across the country pen and ejuma. Now Oko district bia untimi register card and get your card instantly. As at January. Nti me friend me management me busa mo said ade na ekosa na mo say district no omo ni blank cards. Nti since 2023 now call any of our districts na call registration say ugina ebe say gina oje no yemfa ma yemfa se cobra nti na this regional NI head office no ona na nipa bebre ba eba be registration. Nti dia me ye say me ne private partners ne kasai say me sro mo say be new person amaba nti am go nyoma bu mai ye de omo kade ba be fa kwan so a e be twa ma
na so ba na e kada so
e ka wo e ka de wo pa nti
na ka ne ya na etua
me chechu mo be bi e fi ahia ba be dru nti be sure na me say not since 2023 yeah nipa 640,000 and I register amunyo card our district no into many private person in Kasai no mama 700,000 cards so me fan printing all the backlogs into me printing Greater Accra Volta and OT but me say me kasa me printing in free Accra me check Ebeche to be a said yes, I mean for blank cards in our district no any regions no beyond printing need nti ye de koye and obia printing omo de say omo fi de omo issue cards no emma omo and me we started blank cards esa more say from that time no obia ba
okay
nti asa na me no say all districts all our 297 offices across the country okohonuma ejinaoji
okay
okobe bia na obi ka say ko na sabra entro unless say that person is facing typical technical challenge what's our report to my near solve
okay
it is okay any of our district offices ejinaoji now oko district office now ko register for the first time free unchiahwe
oko register for the first time
our district officer free
okay
but
unchuro udida
okay unchuro udida now call your district offices so call register free of charge unchiahwe but what should udida na card na ayira now perfofo now call district office one dia ono replacement will be 125 cedis.
Okay.
Is only why be that na card na yira now call no now someone printed for from our ono be 125 ono kwa e was onya police report.
Okay.
What the police report echo on call keke no aka say
what the one
aka say me card there e was the police report echo
okay.
What the kwa on be from ana me fa say what change you din wa ware foforo and I say date of birth no wrong and I say the information bia what surface of the card no who say wrong now akwaye through the legal means now call now could change your district na 60 cedis.
Okay.
Say ebe cost am ya print new card amount kwa dey 60 cedis.
60 cedis.
But no kwa our team in the Greater Accra in our head office. And yes, okay, I say me change me di na ma change amount. And I me change me date of birth na ma change amount. Who could change you di what's why aso affidavit. Now kwa gazette. Now they buy NIA. Okay. We have an approval team at the head office. And we go through documents ma say ampa yen change mawa and sana ma change amount na mo dey obi amount. Now we have what we call the premium centers. Back 15 of all the regional offices.
Okay.
Ono unye bi da, unchro din da. Now call any of our premium centers ono ubitua 310 cedis.
Okay. Premium no chiremu na Ghana frontier.
Okay. Premium no our regional offices.
No region.
Regions no. And district offices what they free.
Okay.
But call any of our regional office or Ghana Hanoma ono ubitua 310.
310.
Yes.
Okay.
310.
Okay.
Unye bida. Na se card why you bida? Na card na yira. Na uko one call districts. Na uko premium center. No be 420 cedis.
Okay. Okay. Odi na yira.
We 420. Na se why one no so person uko na uko a change of name and a date of birth. Na uko one call districts. Na uko any of our premium centers. No be 355 cedis. 555 cedis.
Okay.
Okay. It's up to you. The option.
Raja, when you have a phone line, someone be questions. What's the questions?
The options no.
Okay.
It's up to you. So we call districts and also we call premium centers.
Premium centers.
The difference in Nina say the district office no nipa na ho no enche dan doso. Our officers no doso. Am here back pay. Into ho ho no ma the maximum am betima register in a day about 40.
Oh, okay.
Nipa bako ediana.
Oh, for so okay.
Nipa bako 40.
40. Okay.
But how call a premium centers now? No bit register over 150.
That's what the question.
Show.
Okay.
And as I say, they introduce a premium center. They say, in fact, say Yaa Titi out here. So when your card ni bida. Obetimi akọ eneme hwenhia menua bema Dallas obetimi akọ Abofontin time so and I can say internet so about no akọ type register.nia.gov.gh. Okay. register.nia.gov.gh.
But your governor gov.gh.
Okay. Okohodma afeni I introduce crowd. That is what we call the online registration.
Oh, okay.
If you know kwa the Yaa Titi unye bida ube fill a form. O fill a form and no booking for an interview. On this interview you say ben online.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, online ni we na ya approve we are. Na why payment so online.
Okay.
Oye payment online ni we are no booking appointment date. To bet me booking say bia na maybe at 3 o'clock na may free. Me call NI office na or RCC no. We are na generate QR code amount. The 3 o'clock no do ho no ma o de card paper na ma mo pay. Am be scanning. Na ma take you picture, na ma take you biometric, na ma print card na ma instantly.
Okay.
So no de unko di queue so.
Di queue bi aso.
On the only queue bi aso. On do a instant. You per se di congested premium centers no any other but we are only available to only 5 premium centers now yet test or Greater Accra for about a month you really who say successful until you say no actually Ashanti region account ho.
Okay.
The Volta region account ho. The Eastern region account and the Northern region account.
Okay.
We are hoping that by the close of this year, all the 15 premium centers across the country can also do online.
Okay.
But online here for only first time expert.
Oh, okay.
Who register with that?
No, say online here for will be on true ni
Dida. Our person
for
only a muncho mudida. Yeah, the enche, yeah, the update any replacement ebe
okay.
In fact, yeah, the account we but yeah, test, IT, and yes, we are now the abase will be in use. I was all your background testing checker, say BBI okay. And we are hoping say in middle of October, a bell launch on so not just only the air choir, nature say replacement, any update there, wait match now the comfort of your home, not my registration. Again, the SAI and say what we call household and institutional registration.
Okay.
The main fact says CTV for more hana who say management decided say yempese your workers ebeko NI offices no acquire registration oko ni.gov.gh
okay
obetima apply NI the omo equipment no ebeba ha ni abe register mo and I say be replacement and update amount instantly it's obetima ba bia mo betwa kakakra bi
and so movie we need there no but at a comfort
at your home yes because me papa bi o say on those NI office no on the next door krapa onko ye o mama ba the fie no baba be o be say o be kwa ko DQ ni bia nti ono so nti ono so ye ni.gov.gh okay website on man as of any of our numbers na the numbers in between later on offer on man you be fight take you through the process near bahod and ababe adin so abisa finding pa say we call ho no am ka say na ni pegu ho no utimi so bia ni nam office no no kosoro
no ba form
there was no because ohonum na Yaa Titi o fingerprint new data work so we need to protect it. Now when nam ho obia ni na babia there's no CCTV watching what is happening, there's no access control, fire alarm was not working and a whole lot of things. And to me friend me procurement officers enemy management who says sa nyoma we nyina beji say after the latest by na over 2.1 million cedis.
Okay.
And I'm saying, hey, somewhere 2 years away there, you could just scan away for them. No, expenditure. That's how we because first scan away. And I say, boss, you bear refurbishments, which will cost about 59 million a womb. It is a year there, a bit taking care of it. And I'm saying, me as a cyber security person, me to be trained and my MBA, Sikano and Yambai, Tidiani bit me. And I'm drinking one, I'm saying, okay. What I'll do is say, vendors now my year Juma were NIA no. IPMC, what me who say company be here we say IPMC, I cost sponsor mo. IMS company be here BB, no more cost sponsor mo. ESS company be here BB, no more cost sponsor mo. And I'm from I'm say, Master, my corporate social responsibilities are my outside the sachet. It is time for that Musumo baby am NIA. When you say 8 years, you left any elevator any Juma. CCTV be a Juma. The first day we drew her na nyoma did that down and yeah. But now I won't fault the former executive secretary. Not familiar. Because once a legal person, I want to know your law. And see of so be advising on IT, or be taking the time and son and understanding better. To say me so be become legal aspects. I want to be taking time, but maybe we do on it was a top priority to me. And so I've always advised subsequent government to be a baby. They are appointing anybody to, especially NI. That person should have a technical background because NI is an IT-driven organization and a security-driven organization. The first thing I'm afraid. IMS is a patron. No man, my list, no. Then I'm betting my mammy. I am mammy. And I'm say, I'm a bear left, no. Any boardroom, mammy. And I'm afraid IPMC. I'm say, bear access control. Any CCTV near this. ESS, then I'm bear mammy. The bear fire alarm need be beer mammy. It's a name you can say. Is it a left in the Juma? Left, I'm important.
Oh,
okay. Import to eba.
Okay.
To say, me new can say, 2.1 million cedis are nanka was a buy spending a year na you. Yetimia ye free of charge. I buy a share 1 cedi book.
Hey, what's warning you?
I buy a share me mom when you say, Oba NIA is a Oba NIA is a security of a firm and son or top or no. And yes, some ketua. They say, enrich yana main entrance no. They say I am automated.
Okay.
To do I just say bia bibi so ansana don na bia ma.
Na mo kire yesa mo IT.
Na we use main pedestrian lane kwapa. They say the 10 star bia be si hono ma. Odu hono ma. This security na bi ansana no so wetime awem. Enti say ura inside that wa lock ya ha lock.
Hey,
when bia ma wa. Wotimi pie abonti.
Me ba cho member ho ya ma mo nyame sa.
Enti say baby aye dru no na me say say we yetimi aye ni nyina ye ntwia.
Mo ntwia hwe.
Ye ntwia hwe. Corporate social responsibilities. Enti me da omo am beboa ye. In fact other companies makacho mo nyina say omo so mbra beboa ye because wo ka se wo twen aban a ebeche kakra because abai o video bia one port dey nyina ye but corporate social responsibilities amoyema outsiders other na NIA mutumi nye bi mai chomo be ye mai another one so say NIA we call globally we've called something ISO certification, that is International Standard Organization.
Okay,
there's a standard that say o collect obi data o process here and now o store and also go some certain standards na NIA.
Okay.
NIA. But and now me no ka say one priority and what ma kuma so pa me team no the selected teams am lead here.
Okay.
I'ma go through training. Like last week na mo try exams no mu nyina pass it. As I'm me no ka say you start implementation. We are hoping say by the close of this year NIA will be certified as a ISO standard. Okay. All the certification that you perceive in na ebenya ni na. Enti bi nyaba nyoma bebre wo so a ade a me pese yesa ye kwa ni beboa e-wallet. When you say Ghana card here kutami, it has 3 profiles on it. E-passport, e-ID and e-wallet.
Okay.
Now e-passport it has been activated already. Now don't forget said the design of this one was done as far back in 2012 of this Ghana card.
Okay.
So Ghana card bia the issue ma foreigners na Ghana. But omo die no difference room.
Okay.
Omo die no ECOWAS emblem no eniso.
Ah.
And omo die no so ya so non-citizens card. Me hu say omo the 2 team in so. Ya so non-citizens card. It is obi who so bi kuta card ni bia.
Enye ni nyina na kire so ye Ghana ni. Okay.
Ono de atoso no.
Okay.
Into hwa there's a difference. It's a Republic of Ghana non-citizen identity card. Into hwa citizens card na ono ECOWAS emblem na hwa bibia Ghana flag no wow. Omo de no left, here de no right.
Okay.
But we no crampo no, we no omo de no a cheap wom. Where the old one na issue no, but it's almost the same as this.
Okay.
When it was a 2D barcode, and a normal issue. But yeah, they have but the same thing like this. Oh no, you're the mom.
Okay. Okay.
It's an foreigners don't pay registration. Yeah, $120 outside African country.
Oh,
we African near $60.
Okay.
And now you ECOWAS $50.
Okay.
And
I think say baby I agree. Ebi ana wo question bi apese obisa ba chomo activate phone lines no ma me na o ye fa nipa ba mienu me ensa bi na question bi e kire wadwen wo Ghana card no ho no obetimi ebisa ye be ka ne Ghana card sa na nyina ye ka no I see na wo question bi apese obisa me can see you and I'm a what to me, but I'm can executive secretary. I on see you, papa. I question beer, but you're not what friend no be what church you mu. No, one quite young mamma can say, ya me, and I will be some to But you also make a good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Pacho.
Pacho, we won't be a sound in no mammy. Won't be a speaker in that embemwa. Pacho, mammy, you.
Okay. Question me person me kasafi Abuna Sedro.
Hello.
Oba penin Mabitina. Opor Dangbi MP ni constituency wa Abuna West. Many me person me ditega kane say. The Ghana card one those days will be meaning this NDP regime. Uko ana udindi pepedia. No man can so person one more kura wufi. Then for economy in terms of
Oko NIA wa now Boadu no be person ma
starting from Idrisu, Ana Suleiman, Ana Aziz, Ana Muhammeda. No person one more country wufi. Then
country.
Yeah.
Okay. I challenge our share ho. Okay. Now say this to cry the Ghana for Sweden kawana.
We are some man.
Me fa course ni wiem ti ba cho. Mo ma me fa course ni wie na fe. Me bra enya kwan na onyi a no show na. Yes, I want another interview ni. Hello, good morning. Otimeka, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Me pa cho ma mi ti o.
Na be say me bisa asemo we even it.
Ma cho mi ti o.
We me Ghana card one. But we almost the time birth no. Let's say no 67. It me send as makoma sa.
Okay. Bacho mate obeyi ano emi so odi kankan wa sembe emi se bia that time no why nti ba obeyi wa no why mo ma me nipa 2 enka ho na yenko. Hello, good morning. Mete wonka. Hello,
Mr. Wonka.
Bacho ma meti o.
The community say Mr. Media on. My ye no edino instead of abuaje no why na buache. Makowa mu hu senya be ya ambeda na mama.
Okay, udino na nke ye abuaje na o ma ye no buache.
Na abuaje, e ma mistake no. O ye na abuaje no ye na abuaje.
Na wakwa o mo nyema.
Ma bresa ti ama me nyama me ye nyina akra no information na san ye dey. E san reject. Mu say akwantu ni ade am dey ye. Nyina no, o mo hwe we no mo hwe we different wo. Because me start process wo answer. Because me dey me in man passport me man no ye. Me the passport e man na oye. The passport no me the man no na me guarantee so no share so true bibia no e buy no me e buy am ko fa card na nta na me hu se me set up aboaje no ane boache.
Okay.
In fact we see bibia fa because if you am pa serious.
Mate me hu se hu asem hia mate obeyi anu ama. Mo ma me last caller na good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, fine morning.
Yes, sir.
Pacho, say Nra, me can send me say me person me my information be actually me din me number to me TV.
Pacho, wo dey na different. Remember, I will attend to you. Why?
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Mama me last call on the Ghana card na yenko. Me say me so me refi you. Ya mon kai me na me course about me when ya na doso. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, sir.
Pacho, every Mark Goka because I'm man probi.
Okay, Pacho yentio.
The executive now or Jumanu Buko Marina me person me born abaso.
Oh, okay.
Or ye Jumanu ye papa we ye wine uba obedi life. E minimum ni dimbumba me born abaso pa friend or Buko Marina side wa for office NIA office na ho.
Oh, okay. Okay. Said we are aggressive. We are sure say we mistake bi no ye yanka na bo abebo na chi. Okay, Mate. Me so me da ase. Me hwe bra even mo de ba ye pass en ka bra yi. Wuti mu say wo nya na dwuma yanka aggressiveness no de ba ye na na ko de be attack no. Enti buko mare na ene uti na ye yi na wo ye wadwuma yi. Enti ye hwe questions na e ba so far.
That's the first question here was about discrimination.
Yeah, discrimination.
See, Citizens Act no clear who a Ghanaian is.
Yeah.
And again, so NIA no HSL who person register for Ghana card now. It clearly states who is supposed to get the Ghana card. But what often me nyal ni say, who draw crana who start to say okasape. yes unya Ghana ni ko
yeah
do now can language be na won to be nka twi and as any language be is ko me ba on to Ghana kasa bia enti o no be discriminating a citizen is not acquired by face so what here so you kokko and I say and I've always consistently say what is obi for ekase unya Ghana ni don't mean register wa report them to the numbers. Something that I don't take delight in it. Okay. I remember saying minister ba or council no and she said who will be report to our call center numbers and we'll take a decision on it. Okay. The second person also change of date of birth.
Yeah.
Now make state say who person change date of birth. The first thing they will say a mistake of NIA officer na say say NIA mistakes and or passport and I say birth certificate and I 90 or birth certificate 83 and I officer near 1993 what they call be change amount on who here bibia but say a fault what say what the document a older than Ghana card most of the things are in here a OBEC certificates by that time no now I say be a dream but ni be no so be sound date of birth
now we dey body be
aha denja make us and say obi anyini awie na fi no see me change me date of birth because football age me person me na ban mu government adwuma mu che me person me kobo ball enti person me change date of birth oya akola no that time no anya na adwe so be change the date of birth enti ono so no enti sa na ye beka enti aha and then the next one aboaji de no o see or the passport in the call enti that means the mistake is from our staff.
Okay,
uncle back to where or register you know non fast our passport na uncle so be replacement change of name so call na say almost say omonye mana numbers ni nie pacho mebubo numbers ni nie number ni 0302 999 306 0302 999 306 another one so see 983
okay
and another one says 0302 999 307 307 okay. And another one so see 0302 999 309 and the last one here 054 9889 525 see numbers we nyina ultimate free a ye betima emre ni ho anka wase me ka omo aye register omo under 15 no
minus no obi kura bi
yes
but when they can
last year ana aban foforo no started some come register omo amoye under 15
yeah
but omo call field na omo register omo schools no omo call na omo intimi omo register omo but omo intimi am print cards no omo
because me man no kura me can so omo register omo but
omo intimi am print am buy lucky good news in itself me buy you know me set up a team to look into it
okay
and now me know say ya printing omo cards ni nyina over 350,000 cards ya printing ni nyina from 23rd September year ebe ye ko schools ni nyina asako yi card ni nyina mo bia it from 23rd our form mo yesoma mba no mo ni omo school no
okay
yeah mba enye sa akwa ni card ahwe obeto atwe
ndi no
aha nti okwa documents now the be no ni nko maybe issue card number so from 23rd of September NIA Echo schools ni nyina mu to give the card but we are estimating say estimation say was can register close to 6.9 million people but you to be registered 350 yeah they have to your budget mu 2026 budget yeah ba be and say next year you sabe come back to the schools no to register obiabium and another section a 0 to 5
okay
they say the area they say aban for that no launch here but want me and technical issues the area they say you walk right to her nye ye mema NIA pin number ye ma card no
ye ma card na kan person me
ye mema pin no because osano fingerprinting develop here
okay
ye mema pin no say the be your date of birth and you din no bibia it will stay with you forever
good
say the be nya pin na obenyini adu ba bia o say adwuma na me ye no adwuma na me wo NIA no me pese me tina mu che enti me bese some date of birth NIA tama ye wo nye date of birth dada enti sa nyen so ye ba betwem enti from next year nyame adoma ni nyina so be ba yenya time anka identity day no identity day you started
me say na o ka say e wo koye bibi e no kwan say wo photocopy
copy ono so wunya pa e wunya
photocopy bebre
and you are to risk because Yaa Titi the your law is say in any transaction be Ghana card no be use now one thing a deficiency who law ni mu say law give you options say you should only do verification no I be me doubt to say one son my verification and then you start a stakeholders meeting at 10 o'clock
okay
you chinyi emra ni bibia as say be enforce so say do biometric verification now one year emra new ebedi yeah punishment punitive measures are put in place now also Yaa Titi oba me nchen now the Ghana card mami na me hwe wanim na me hwe Ghana card na esa my identify oba me nche say eyewa
okay
me bo Ghana card number no into a system na ko check NI de mu na ba say successful ma verify say Ghana card no authentic from NI but still me confirm me o
enya mea
unless we use fingerprints because be our twin
yeah
and you know na ye jimu say no bank or no institution should do photocopy of your Ghana card because when you photocopy now you've not established the person's identity onye she Bank of Ghana I issue directive to all banks say they should not do that else they will sanction them and you nya say obi your photocopy of your Ghana card me patcho no manam di tu dwa no free
okay
it's not right. Say Yaa Titi banks be yes I don't know. Enche you be letter to Ministry of Bank of Ghana said these banks needs to be sanctioned because the complaints na too much because with Ghana card no your biometric no onam no e won ho dada. In fact, oko bank you don't need a physical card. The here say we need Ghana card number no and no no. Now the panel must verify into us and to verify from NI system easy. Oye Ejumako bi now person over here come NIA verification email address ni idverification@nia.gov.gh idverification@nia.gov.gh o send email ni say person you on board pay your call phone no ho am be attend to you to get you on board say be a bit my verification but photocopy ni there oye pay the new law no parliament that na a pass pair because you will be your photocopy there then it say wa
me nsana na be kire say
ye wa
okay
so some you nsana at any point be your transaction bia am send details no ma and I bet ma system no ehu be bia wo koye bia o ye bia nti anu so ho ma ye
ma me say last one obi say okay to say bia me mai say ma say some school am card no am say be da kan
oh say almost the school now what we will do is say the district office now NI no bit ma call district office so akwachi
and obi so say Henry o si nipa no no of no why dey wa ma kwan no wa bank cry and o ye dey we asem so or no of no wa ma kwan ti o one cry no o ye one cry no san ko no for be then and say aka say you say no ba beje
why be not for that
o je bi
oh baby out me yo Ghana card
baby o say ho na what dey aye no ho ati
convenient baby apeso ye bia and che say meti ayawa so na was be baby and na it say voters register was baby o be register ho na beto aba
na say o koye o ho don't be to aba
baby a wait matter bia aye Ghana card
all right we are sure say questions say what ya adwunu mu ni nyina no menu abema ya ira wadi wabomode a chechi mu kakaka ame ate ase discrimination dey what mean so very passionate about it enti no no dey wo kwana so face bia numbers no 0302999306 wetimi afre na walogi complaint say dey what mean say changes any reset abaho kane no na fra emfa ezo do fra efa o brother na asre me ma fra bi da be fra from ofa
say Dallas na ye charge
o fra Dallas be fa ai say do fra ya do ba fa o enti mesra o mo fa course na tata no o mo ma ne o da na dwokra mo ma ni bi na nyina no ye nyina ye enti no mo ho and they are there to serve us enti se ba ko na o be bra unya response no enti pa cho ye hye ne so mai mamenda me bra panyi ase na Moses mobile launch system that's my launch in every
yes ID for Africa a global campaign yeah and say aban any aban nyina engine to say your identity day because we hear SDG UN a Ghana government a signature to it almost say by 2030 I was saying legal identity for all including birth registration. And idea we are almost there. And see that is set aside. So here until the setting says 16th September. Until here UN SDG in so and also 16.9. Until now said the big gain worldwide recognition. Say that day need yen set aside say onuna the be identity day. Until me ma happy belated identity day.
And wow, Jaba one is and one challenges be our Ghana card hono say Mr. Office while they attend to you. Say crowd obika pressure number form. Enti okwa o mesho wontem na watimi akontem.